What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Skinny Moose.
Your boy Fat Squirrel.
And we got the owner of IWA Deep South here, Mr. Kevin Brannen. In the flesh.
Thank you for having me on, guys. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
you're welcome. Anytime, sir. So, what made you start IWA Deep South and Carnage Cup?
Let's see. Probably, I would say, probably the idea for it started really back in 2004. I was running a promotion. I'd been running since 2002, but in 2004, I booked Ian Rotten on a show and down in Wetumpka, Alabama. It was him and this guy, I don't know, he never made it on Mid South, but his name was Mike Sweat, and he was like kind of like a trainee of Ian's and never made it. And Ian brought him, and they done like a barbed wire ropes and light tubes match for me. It was like October of 2004, and so that was the first time I'd met Ian, and so I booked him, and then shit, man, that's the first time I ever booked a death match, and so I got in trouble with the building, but afterwards, me and Ian kind of formed a friendship, and we started talking pretty much from like October of '04 all the way leading up to October of '05, and like within that year time frame, I had pitched to him about doing like different branching off and doing different IWA promotion, kind of like the NWA used to do, where you had different territories, for the NWA.
Oh, yeah.
And I pitched it to Ian. I said, you run Mid South, and said I'm in Alabama, so I'm in the Deep South. So how about if I change my promotion over to IWA Deep South? And so he liked the idea, and then so I said, well, I knew the history, of Mid South, and then I'd watched CZW for years, and so I said, well, the only way to launch the new promotion, to get it off the ground right out of the gate, is to run a deathmatch tournament. And I said, so we had plans to do the first one. It was October 22nd, 2005, and we done it in Childersburg. It's my hometown, and I went to the director and told him, it was gonna be hardcore. It was gonna be violent, and I told him pretty much everything. And so we started the show. Die Hard, Dustin Lee, Brandon Prophet, and Die Hard got fucked up, and then
Die Hard got that home.
Yeah, we called 911. Well, then when they called 911, somebody called the director of the venue and told him, somebody got hurt, and said they had to call the ambulance. And so somebody told him come get me, and he got on the phone with me, and he said, look, y'all gotta calm it down. Y'all gotta turn it down a notch. Or, I might come in, shut you down. So like I got off the phone with him, and Spider Boodrow and Marty Schiffmeyer were working. They were up on top of the balcony, and this was like literally like 2 minutes after I got off the phone. The director, here comes Marty off the top of the damn balcony through a table. When then a lady in the crowd called the fucking police department. When then the police department called the director of the wreck again, and he said, "Hey, I got a call. I got another call. We're shutting you down. We on our way." So that was the end of the second match. So it took them another 3 matches to get it shut down, because I sped it up, and we got through them next 3 matches, and the last one was Insane Lane, Madman Pondo. And so as soon as that match was over, director come in, cops come in, and he said shutting it down. We're shutting it down. He got on the fucking mic and said, we're shutting down the show. I was cussing. I was getting mad. I said, no, y'all ain't. Yeah, I said, y'all ain't shutting down shit. I got a contract. Y'all can't shut it down. And then they said, just calm the fuck. He said, just calm the fuck down. We either gonna shut it down or either you going downtown. And so I finally just said, well, I guess just shut it down. So they shut it down, man. That was right, right out the gate, man. That was, you know, first show, opening.
What
I'm done. That's good.
I watched your documentary on Totem Match, the 10 fucking years of carnage, and you went the fuck off. You was like, either you're gonna give me my money back or let me run my motherfucking show. Which I don't blame you, because a lot of your boys from Deep South said that you put a lot of money into it. And I mean, you can tell if you watch any of your Carnage Cup promotions alone, you to me, I bet you spend about a good 15, 20 grand. You pay for multiple U-Hauls. You pay all your boys. You pay for the ring. If you spend big money at Carnage Cup.
Yeah,
So I see where you're coming from.
yeah. I was pissed off, man. But then, when it was over with, I said, no, fuck this. It ain't over. And so then I got on the phone. I was trying to find other places where we could reschedule it. I ended up finding the place up in Elkmont, Alabama, like right on the Tennessee line. It's called the Country Music Barn. And so the lady that owned it, we told her about it. And I said, look, I had a hard time down here. Can we come up there? I'm going to reschedule it and run it again if we can use your venue. And so she let us, and then we ended up, we rebooked it. I rebooked it, and we did it December 3rd. We did the redone show. And it got down. We finished it and didn't have no problems or anything.
So when you reran Carnage Cup, was that at Donna's place?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Go ahead, Squirrel.
If given the chance, would you take Carnage Cup internationally?
Yeah, I would if I had the financial support, and yeah, I definitely would.
I'd like to see him take Cup to Japan.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So a lot of accusations has been running around about Jimmy Chondo lying, and I always want to know if you would like to address Chondo.
Yeah, I don't know because I've had him blocked for a couple of years. I don't know what he said, so I don't know what the accusations are.
Matter of fact, I have it right here because I sent him over to Brian, and Brian told me to actually bring it up to you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He said, I know I worked there, but it's the owner, Kevin Brannen. That's why I disavow that stuff, especially after it came out with proof that he's a raging Holocaust denying anti-Semitic and racist. And then I said, I think a lot of y'all work there. Kevin is a hell of a promoter, though, and Deep South is one of the most brutal promotions. He goes, we did then all the screenshots and whatever the fuck that big word is, stuff came out, and a lot of people aren't really down with that stuff. Not saying who worked there now, past Brennan, are automatically anti-Semitic, but a lot of issues people have started with him and his beliefs. He's definitely not. He's actually notorious for proudly trashing the buildings he runs and getting wrestlers banned from those buildings permanently, and even being the cause of wrestling getting banned in several towns. And I said, I'm not one to speak on religion or belief or anything like that, but I've never seen or heard screenshots or even the rumors. He goes, yeah, there's screenshots. I'll send them to you tomorrow, which I never got. I gotta get sleep for work. I work in the AM, but he denies the Holocaust, says Hitler isn't a bad guy, etc., etc. It's actually really disgusting. And I said he actually did admit in the documentary that in a few buildings he got in trouble for some stuff because of a few fans. And in Cheldersburg, I probably pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry, or however you spell it, got in trouble in Alabama because the Carter's Cup one was so brutal.
Yeah, well, the building.
And then,
Yeah, I'll address all of it. The building issues. First of all, like I mentioned before, I told the director what we was gonna do, and they signed a contract with me. And because they kept getting them calls, Die Hard, and then the woman with Marty freaked out, so they come in and shut it down. But I was approved for it, and actually, Childersburg, it was cleaned up. Donna's was cleaned up. We went to Donna's, man, and didn't have no trouble. We didn't have no trouble to clean up nothing. The first year we had trouble with the cleanup was '06, and that was in Coleman. Well, the guy that I had the building with, he was there. After the show was over with, it was trashed. But I told the dude, I said, man, I know it's trashed. I said, let me give you a little bit more money if you'll take care of it. Do you want me to stay and take care of it, or do you got it? And he give me a number, and I give it to him, and he said, we got it. Well, then I got a call like on Monday, and he said next door there was a car lot, and some people had thrown stuff through these car windows. I said, well, dude, that ain't got nothing to do. Well, come to find out, it was fans like that had gotten high at the show, had threw like bricks through these car windows next door. Well, hell, I can't control that. I mean, if guys was getting high and they was going out there and throwing them bricks through car windows, and I didn't even know about it till Monday. Well, hell, the show was Saturday night, so when it happened, I didn't know nothing about it. So what am I going to do Monday morning when he calls me and says, "Look, somebody busted the windows out of these cars"? I said, I didn't know nothing about it, and I swear to God, I didn't know nothing about it. I mean, I
48
found out
hours.
Monday, and so I mean, what am I supposed to do at that point? I mean, so that was that. I mean, we've had a couple other times where every time we trashed out every time a building, we did a Carnage Cup, it was trashed. But I either offered to pay the building more money or I stayed and cleaned it up. I never, the times that I did leave it in a mess, I always offered to compensate the owners of the buildings for leaving it in a mess. And that's just a fact. So, I mean, far as that goes, far as the Holocaust, like, first of all, I don't talk about it much because it ain't got nothing to do with wrestling. But what he's talking about is I have talked to people about all kind of conspiracy theories over the years. I said it ain't just the Holocaust. I've talked about 9/11. I've talked about Sandy Hook. I talked about I don't even know, man. So many. I don't know if you're familiar with conspiracy theories or not. But anyway, I'm kind of a conspiracy theory guy, and so my thing is, it was coming from a standpoint of I'm real skeptical about believing official stories of any kind of historical event, where you've got like the news and the media that pushes a particular agenda and stuff like that. So somehow or another, one day I was talking to this guy and it got brought up, the subject of the Holocaust. And I said, man, I tell you, like, I think, 9/11 was an inside job. I said, I'm just not convinced that many people died, that many people died and was gassed and stuff. I mean, I think a lot of people died, but I don't believe the official narrative, like the official story. And that's what I said. And then the guy asked me, he said, well, do you think that Hitler was the most evil person that ever lived? I said, well, man, I don't really know him because hell, I didn't live back then. I said, all I know is what I've heard. I said, I tell you what, there's been a lot of evil ass people. And it was
Yeah.
like, basically what he done was he twisted my words around, tried to make me look like I was a Nazi. But all I said was, I'm like, well, man, they's always been evil people all throughout the history of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you singling out one event and one guy, and you saying, look, this is the Holocaust. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, you realize there's been more than one Holocaust throughout history. I said, there's been many Holocausts. I said, the
Yeah.
problem is the media and TV and Hollywood, they focus on this one Holocaust. But if you try to talk to somebody about other Holocausts, they don't know what you're talking about, or either they try to downplay it or suppress it. And so my point was, why are you focusing just on this particular tragic event in history, and then you won't give the same attention to other events that had tragedies? I said it don't make no damn sense. And so because I said that, that's what I got labeled as. And so, and that's a fact, dude. I'm shooting straight up with you. As far as the racist charge, I mean, Larry Legend, is a ring announcer now. He's one of the greatest guys. Dude,
Hoodfoot.
I've always had people of color on my show all down through the years. I mean, Chewy Martinez has been with me forever. I mean, Hoodfoot worked for me. I mean, Freight Train worked for me. I mean, Port Shop
What's
Cat Jr. I mean, dude, I got along with every one of them. I got along. I never see. That's the thing, man. I never had any problem, any heat, any issue with anybody on my show, no matter what they was, white, black, yellow, red. It don't matter. I mean, I've always got along with all the boys that I booked on my show. I always took care of them. I always paid them good, treated them with respect. I mean, fuck. I mean, my track record speaks for itself. Now
yeah.
you can believe accusations, or you can ask people that's actually worked for me, and you can say, well, how does he treat everybody on the show? I mean, does he treat black dudes different than Mexican dudes different than Asian? Just ask it. I'm not gonna say, because it's best to just come to the show or ask somebody how I treat people, because anybody could say, hey man, I ain't racist. I ain't gonna say that. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you be the judge for yourself. And I'm not saying you, Moose and Squirrel. I mean anybody. I'm talking to anybody. And I've done a ton of interviews, and always these subjects come up, and I say it over and over and over again. But you still got people like Chondo and these stupid ass haters
Yeah.
that keep on regurgitating the same fucking charges and the same drama and the lies and the accusations over and over and over and again. So it don't matter, dude. I could do an interview every weekend and refute the charges. You still gonna have people that's gonna call me fucking racist. Still gonna have
Yeah.
people call me anti-Semitic, Nazi, whatever. But dude, just ask anybody that knows me, man. Ask anybody that knows me, anybody that works for me, and then you be the judge after that. But until you're gonna do that, and
Um,
until somebody's gonna do that, I mean, if they gonna believe Chondo, man, Chondo worked for me one time. Chondo worked for me one time, and
got the
and
shit out of
and,
me.
and the show he worked for me, that he cannot say I've done anything disrespectful to anybody on the show, or that I showed any signs of racism or anti-Semitism or any of that shit. One fucking show, and he never been back, and he believed bullshit on the internet. But hey, look, that's fine. If he wants to believe lies, fuck him, man. I mean, I ain't trying to impress nobody, man. I got my crew. I got my guys that support me. I got my fans. And if you don't like me, fuck them, man. I don't care. It just is what it is.
I
I,
support him.
I,
I mean, he fucking had
I,
Sick Boy from Mexico in Carnage Cup 13. If I don't tell you something. On top of that, with he's had Mosh Pit Mike. I'm not really for sure what Mosh Pit is. he's white or black or mixed or whatever. But speaking on the Holocaust, I mean, like, look at fucking Genghis Khan. He conquered
Yeah,
over half of,
yeah.
you know, and look at the natives and the whites. The whites practically wiped out all of Native Americans. I mean, just
Well,
don't speak on one thing.
look about communism up under the Soviet Union, man. Actually, they actually murdered more people under Soviet communism than the Germans did under the Nazis. But see, people don't talk about that. See, they uh they had a Nuremberg trial where they tried all the Nazis, but they didn't have no trial for the Soviets. And the Soviets killed Jews. The Soviets killed Christians, and nobody talks about that. There never was no military tribunal. They never was. They didn't. There was no war crimes brought up, and you can't tell me they didn't have a Holocaust too. They genocided millions of fucking people in the Soviet Union. Millions of them got killed, but the only one they'll talk about is the one that happened in Germany. That's owned by the Nazis. That's the only Holocaust they'll talk about, even though there's been countless others throughout history. But they'll only talk about the one. Why is that, man? Say that, that's bullshit, man. I mean,
Exactly. And didn't Joseph Stalin have an island that he would take people to?
yeah, yeah,
See?
yeah. Damn sure did. I mean,
Crazy.
see, because dude, there's an agenda to promote that one particular event in history. They people that pull the strings, man, behind the scenes, elite. And Cat Williams talks about it. There's all kind of people talking about it, talking about the Illuminati or New World Order, all that. There's people up at the top behind the scenes that have agendas that they push particular narratives, and that's one of them that they push is the quote unquote Holocaust that happened by the Nazis. They push that's some kind of narrative that's promoted, man, to demonize Germans, but they don't do that shit for nobody else. Like you said, Genghis Khan, the Soviets. I mean, we can go on and on. Rwanda, they have one down there. I mean, fuck. I mean, there's all kind of genocide, man. I mean, I think Uganda had one, man. I mean, there's been genocides all throughout history, man. All throughout
Exactly.
history, there's been genocide. So that was my only beef was, man, there's something behind the scenes. There's something nefarious going on. Because why the fuck you just focusing on one particular event in history, but nobody ever talks about any of the other ones? It's only this one. Why? I mean,
That is
genocide is genocide. Killing people is killing people. Why the fuck you just focusing on one? Why is no other ones get nearly the press coverage, nearly the Hollywood movies, man? Hollywood movies. Every time you cut it on TV, there's a new Holocaust movie, new hit. There's a new Nazi movie. But they
yeah,
don't.
it's
But
great.
they don't do that shit with the other ones. They don't do that. They don't focus as much on other. Why? Why don't they? It
I
don't make no.
guess
Don't make
it
no.
don't. I guess it's where we're like. I guess it's where America went to war with Germany, but still, we went to war with Iraq, Iran, fucking Korea, fucking. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
True.
Yeah, damn Gaddafi in Libya, man. I mean, fuck. I mean, Yeah, I can go on and on, man. That's a rabbit hole we could go down and be talking about all night. I know this is a wrestling podcast, so I didn't. But it's just It gets brought up, man, and never really expound on it. So I just wanted.
I'm, you're fine, Mr. Kevin. In this interview on this channel, you're allowed to speak your mind, say whatever the fuck you want to say. It's open. That's why we have this channel. Don't hold back. Say whatever. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear your 100%.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome, sir.
Uh, what was it like being one of the first people to promote a deathmatch tournament in the South?
Uh, man, it was very stressful. And I mean, the best of my knowledge, the best of my knowledge, I was the first one to promote one in the Deep South.
I
I don't
think
I don't
so.
know I don't know of any prior to the first one we done, October of '05. I don't but man, it was I don't know, man. It was very stressful. I didn't have any help hardly. I mean, it pretty much I was just winging it, man, because I didn't have nobody to tell me, how to do one. I just pretty much was just going off my prior experience of promoting, and I was like, well, fuck, it's just like a regular wrestling tournament. I just got to get gimmicks, and so, but yeah, it was hard, man. It was tough, but it was rewarding though, and it was satisfying because at the end of the day, not the shutdown one, but the one we redone at Donna's, it was very satisfying because when it was all over with and about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks later, when I was holding the DVD in my hand, I'm like, fuck, man, I done it, and I was like, I was first one, and I'm pretty positive we were the first company in the Deep South too that had a contract with Smart Mark Video. Matter of fact, I know we was. So we had a contract with Smart Mark Video for the very first one right out of the gate. And yeah, when it was all done and over, it was very satisfying. But getting ready for it, it was hell, man.
I've I've heard and I can imagine how much hell Carnage Cup can be just to set one day up. So Peter B. Beautiful wants to know why he don't have the Deep South title anymore.
Let me see. I'm gonna try to
Because
think. So
I had
the Deep South title was actually like shelved. It was retired at the time, and I honestly don't like. I have a brain freeze right now. Like I don't remember what the circumstances behind that match was because I don't know. I would have to talk to John, and he'd have to refresh my memory on it. I don't exactly remember what the because the belt he walked out with the belt, but it wasn't actually the Deep South title, and the Deep South title had been retired, and like I don't even remember now the circumstances behind it. I honestly don't. I would have to go back and watch the show and talk to John and say, man, do you remember what happened? Because I know that sounds terrible, but honest to God, I don't remember what happened. But there wasn't. I know. I mean, there wasn't a tournament. There was just like if the only thing I can remember is like Peter just had a belt and he walked out, and if I remember correctly, I think he just declared himself the fucking champion because he beat John, and that's all I can remember. I'd have to be refreshed on that.
I'm trying to find it
But
because
I want to think though that's what it was. I had as I was thinking more, it was something like he had beat John and just declared himself the champion. But I mean, it was like the belt he had. I don't even know whose belt it was now. That's been like I think it's been like 4 or 5 years ago, and I have for some reason I can't remember now. I've done so many shows, and some shit's a blur, man.
I can't find it, but he said something to the effect, wait, I'm not IWA Deep South champion anymore. And I'm like, dude, you should have said something back in October when Cup
But
went down and you waited all the way until February, almost the end of March.
dude, that match he had with John was like 4 years ago, man. Like he's
Yeah,
not
so
he's not been back since, so I don't understand. I don't understand. I think he just like declared himself the champion because he beat John. But if I remember right, he wasn't never. It never was sanctioned though as a title match.
so he never really owned a Deep South title. So there's your question, Peter.
Yeah, it wasn't a sanctioned title match.
Understandable. Oh yeah.
Do you think any other deathmatch tournaments reach your level of brutality in the Carnage Cup?
Well, man, I don't like to like brag and shit, but no, not really. Honestly, I think we pretty much set the standard for brutality and the level of violence that ain't nobody matched. And I think pretty much our reputation speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, since you're always right in the middle of the action, what's the worst cut you have ever seen, or the most unexpected one?
Man, shit. Oh damn. The the one John Wayne Murdoch had at Carnage Cup 9 was bad. The
Oh,
shoulder one, that was bad.
mm,
Um, the stab, like John when he stabbed his arm at 13, that was bad. The original stab was Spider. It was bad. Damn. Let me think. Dude, that's three. I'd have to think, man. It's been a few though. Um, yeah, I can't think of no more right now off the top of my head.
Die Hard Dustin Lee got it pretty
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. I forgot. Die Hard Dustin
Yeah.
Lee. Yeah, that was real bad. Oh shit.
When fucking
No, at Carnage Cup 3, let's see. Drake Younger's here. I forgot about that.
yeah, the air.
Uh,
When fucking I think John took that. No, it was Spider that took that salsa or circular saw or whatever to John's arm.
yeah, that was a cool spot. It didn't really bring draw a lot of blood, but it was a pretty cool spot. The trying to think, it was one I had on my mind. Uh, nah, it slipped my mind. I was trying to think, but yeah, them some bad ones there. I'm sure there's been more. I just can't think. It's been some damn many
Understandable.
that runs together.
I understand that. Go ahead, Squirrel.
Since Danny DeMano shit on IWA Deep South, how you feel and would you like to speak on it?
Yeah, when was that? Do you know what he said?
Um, I'm not. I'm not sure when it happened, but he shit a lot like Bryant White. Brian White has the messages and everything, and he called basically the whole your whole roster a bunch of nobody clowns, unprofessional or some shit. But I know he called them clowns.
Yeah, nah, I ain't even gonna waste my damn breath on it.
And I asked Bryant Woods because back when he done TLS, he met up with Danny, and he said he never had any problems with Danny. And then when you ran, I'm not sure which show it was, but him and Brian White had problems in the DMs, and he said something about, I don't even know you, but I know all of Deep South is clowns or something like that. I'd have to get a hold of Brian and have him send you screenshots.
I don't know, man. I've heard some bad stuff about Danny. I mean, he's bled out a lot of talent, man. A lot of people quit working for him, man. So I
Uh,
mean, he can't be too good of a guy himself. So
I mean, we've lost Akira, Murdoch, Ron Nemi. I can
Larry,
go on.
yeah, Larry Legend. He lost Larry Legend.
Larry Legend, Slack,
Slack.
uh, fuck,
Yeah.
Masada was in there one time. Ain't been back.
Yeah, Masada.
Um,
What about Eric Ryan? Does he still work here?
Eric Ryan, he's not as big as he used to be over there in NHB, But he used to be on every fucking all the Fort Walls boys was on his show like every month when he would run. They was always all over his show, and now you're lucky to see maybe 2 of them.
Ricky Shane Page.
Nope, ain't
None,
seen
none,
Ricky in there.
none of the Ohio guys is in there.
He's got Atticus Cogar because he made a bet with Atticus that if he lost, Danny DeMano would retire. But if Danny DeMano won, then Atticus Cogar has to be Danny DeMano's bitch boy, more or less, for 6 months. So Danny DeMano won, and, he has to be Danny's servant for 6 months. But the only two that really fuck with Danny DeMano is Atticus because he has to, and Otis. I mean, I think Bobby Beverly stacked up for either May or April or May, but Akira's not been there. He made Akira had a title match with Brandon Kurt, or no, Casey Kurt, my fault. And Casey said, I don't do opener matches because Akira was a gatekeeper, and it was Akira's turn to get the belt. She said, I don't do opener matches. I do main events. And then next thing you know, she had Cruel beat the shit out of Akira and make him miss his title shot. And Danny never gave him another title shot.
Yeah. Have you been keeping up with it much? Noah's Bar much?
I watch all of them. I watch all of Deep South. I watch a lot of different death matches, promotions. I feel like Danny could do better here lately. His shows hasn't really been stacked. I mean, they've been good, but they ain't been stacked. Like I feel like he's lost a lot of his magic here lately. So when we interviewed Michael Cougar, he was talking about IWA Deep South, and he said that he feels like he owes you a Carnage Cup since he missed it. He missed his flight or something like that. Could we get some info on that? Like, would you rebook him or?
Yeah, we talked about it, man. I think we probably worked something out. That's what we was talking about. He good guy, man. He said he'd come out for me. And so yeah, I think we'll bring him in on 14.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
yeah, probably bring him in. Yeah,
I'd like to see him in Cup. I'd like to see him in Cup. He had a nice idea of a big old gimmick set up of something like glass and chairs falling on top of a wrestler, making it real brutal like. And I'm like, hey, Deep South does get that brutal, so maybe Mr. Kevin will, let you do it or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Going with that question is, do you take fan ideas? If so, could we get Slack, Bryant Woods, and Cruel and a Cup, like a triple threat?
Yeah, it's possible, man. I know Slack and who'd you say the other one?
Bryant Woods and Slack, Bryant Woods, and Cruel.
Yeah, I mean, we just had to see on Cruel, man. I don't know if he'd work for me or not, but we just had to see, if he would.
I respect that.
But I know
Because
Bryant Slack, obviously Bryant's my champ, so and
yeah,
then no Slack would too, so them two for sure. But I just had to see about Cruel, man.
replace Cruel with Michael Cougar. I mean, that'd be a fucking tall killer first man.
Yeah, that'd be good, man. I remember when Kruger worked Slack back in Mid South. That was a sick match, man.
Yes, the thing is, Michael Cougar is wanting a rematch with Slack, and he said, whoever books it, and I'm like, oh shit, I'd love to see you and Slack go back at it.
Yeah, I know Kruger got real good color, man. I like his.
Uh,
He gets real good color, man.
he's got a really good style, and I like what he brings to the table. He's a hell of a wrestler. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Squirrel.
Of all the Carnage cups you produce, which one would you say is your favorite one?
Mm, probably 10. Probably 10.
10 was good. 10 was good.
Was off.
I'm gonna have to rewatch 10 now.
Yeah.
What made 10 your favorite?
Man, it clicked in on all cylinders, man. It just from the first match to the finals, I think it delivered, man. It was a super long show, and we just had so much talent on that show, man. I mean, we didn't just have the tournament; we had damn Chikara guys on there. We had comedy guys. I mean, it just was. Um, I think it was our pretty much our pinnacle, man. Like the peak, man. I think we at that time we was on top of our game. I just think 10, man, it's it. But
What does it take to be a promoter to run IWA Deep South?
shit, a lot of money and a lot of creativity and a lot of fucking help. A lot of helpers. A lot of guys behind the scenes that do stuff. Uh, which I got a guy now. My VP. He's Tyler Becker, which he you may want him on there sometime. But he's my right hand dude. He pretty much, man. He handles most of the administrative stuff now. I give to him, because I'm getting older, and I'm not, wanting to handle it all myself. He's a good bit younger, so yeah. Without him, man, I pretty much, man, it'd be tough now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
With you not knowing that John Rivera was going to stab Spider in the arm, what was going through your head when it actually happened?
Man, just shit, just a rush, man. It just was. I just was in shock, just tripping out, man.
I watched the interview with it was I don't know, it's some title match, and it was fucking Harry. You was standing over there on the side, and there was Spider Boudreau and John Rivera sitting down, and I think John said when it first happened, Kevin was like, "What the fuck?" He didn't know what to think, and I'm like, John, you just randomly stabbed Spider in the damn arm. What do you think's gonna happen? Do you expect Kevin to jump up and down? Like, when I first seen it, I was like, what the fuck? What? And then I watched the
Beautiful.
interview, and he was like, just don't hit my tattoo. And I'm like,
It's beautiful, man.
what?
'Cause I don't think at that time, I don't think it was like ever happened. I don't think nobody ever did a real stab. I think
No.
before then, people just they gimmick it. Like
Yeah.
a full on damn stab, man. Like I don't think that something to that level had ever happened. I mean, if y'all know something, I mean, maybe like, well, no, because this wasn't the same too either. When Ian and Pondo like debuted at CZW, the scissor incident. Do you remember when they had the pair of scissors? But again, they were gigging themselves. They
Yeah.
didn't like take the scissors and just full on stab. Like, so it's still like that was a brutal incident, but like just a full on damn stab with a box cutter. Nobody had ever fucking done that until we did. Till they did. To best of my knowledge, I don't know unless y'all know.
Not that I know of, and I've said it multiple times to multiple people. The fire, the stabbings, and the damn explosives, that's John Rivera's thing. Like, he stabs Spider, and then at 4 or 13, when he pulls out the box cutter and he's walking back and forth, Brian's done said, he was like, John, what you doing? John, what you doing? And then he just starts fucking going off and stabbing himself. I'm like,
Yeah,
What the fuck, John?
he wished he hadn't done it now though. That was a bad end. It was bad. I still don't know why he done it. I guess he just got worked up, his adrenaline and stuff. I don't know. But
I mean, you know John better than I do. I know him, obviously from his wrestling, but I kind of knew something was up because I kind of seen it on John's face. But then when he actually done it, and I mean, like, actually fell through with stabbing himself, because I thought he was getting ready to do to Little Sicko or Brian White like he done to Spider. But then he turned it on himself, and I'm like, what the hell's going through your mind there, John? It
yeah,
was.
I don't know, man. Crazy shit.
I gotta agree with you.
Of all the places you've hosted Carnage Cup, where do you feel you got the biggest crowd reaction at?
Let's see. Oh shit, 3, man. Pulaski, Tennessee. Carnage Cup 3, hands down, man. Yeah. The hottest that was the hottest crowd of any Carnage Cup. Probably the next one was um probably 10 or 7, maybe 10 though. But 3, by far the 3 was fucking crowd was hot, man. Big time.
Shit, 13 was. They was all over the place on 13. And Brian White, he's like, we need to get you over to 14. We need to get you to Carnage Cup 14. You'll love Kevin. And I'm like, I know a little bit about Kevin. I've watched Carnage Cup. He's like, well, you need to come and watch Carnage Cup live. You need to watch Carnage Cup live.
Yeah.
And, it's the private forum and it's all, and it suits you because you can do whatever the fuck you want. And that's what I'm into. Like, I'm tired of seeing promoters get in there and, here's a box of light tubes, here's a pane of glass, and here's a barbed wire board. I want to see these guys get in here, and it's called deathmatch wrestling for a reason. I want to see them get fucked up. I like the brutality that Deep South has to offer, and that's why
Yeah.
Kevin is my favorite. Like, after when the pandemic was going on, I became a fan of NHB. But my younger years, I was always a fan of Deep South. And then as I've, maintained and, gotten older, and I've went back and I've rewatched all the Carnage Cups, and my wife watched some of them. She don't really get into it. And she's like, damn, no wonder he's so brutal. No wonder everybody loves Kevin. I'm like, you don't even like this type of wrestling. She's like, well, I like Deep South. I'm like, well, there's the brutality. That's Kevin for you. In your documentary, you said that you want it to be remembered as the most brutal promoter. Will you speak on that?
Yeah. I mean, I just try to push the envelope, man. I try to promote the most violent death matches I can, and I have to try to find, the guys willing to do the shit, and
Yeah.
and kind of find where the line is, but not, I don't want nobody. Obviously, I don't want nobody to die, man. But I want to see like how far we can push the envelope, to where you get it right on the fucking edge, without actually going over the edge and somebody dying. You don't want nobody dying. Obviously, you don't want nobody losing limbs. You don't want extended hospital stays and shit like that. But you want to walk that fine razor's edge and try to just walk the edge, man. Say, okay, we're gonna go this far tonight and see, how far we can take it. And I just always just let the guys, man, just go out there and do what the fuck they wanted to do. And I said, look, man, I love everybody, love all the boys, and so I don't want nobody in the hospital for no damn week. I don't want nobody lose no limbs. I don't want nobody dying, but go out there and give me the sickest fucking show you can give me, and everybody still come back and go home. And man, I just live by that, and I always take care of the guys. I treat my guys like family, and we pretty much we got that reputation, man. Now, I mean, everybody knows. I mean, even like I got Big Joe from England. Big Joe from England hit me up and said, Carnage Cup's on my bucket list. I'm ahead of these damn, English UK deathmatch star. He said Carnage Cup's on my bucket list. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like we've thus far we've accomplished, everything I set out to accomplish when I first started, and I'm happy with it.
I understand that. I mean, like you said, you like the Roman gladiators, and you want it to be looked at like a gladiator. You want your promotion to be looked at like a gladiator, and I'm like, this is fucking cool. How he like wants it to be like actual death match and not like here and there 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute match. He wants it. I'll let you do what you want to do, but put me on a damn good show, and I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Um, would you be open to discuss how and why Blaine Evans was in Carnage Cup 13 after getting banned at 12?
Yeah, man, Blaine just, he just come down there, unannounced, and he pretty much just forced his way in the match, and I just was on the spot. And I said, fuck it, let him in there, because it seemed like we had a no show, and yeah, we did have a no show, and so we needed another spot. And so when he come down there and pushed me out the way and pushed somebody else, and I said, fuck it, man, let him go in, and just let him do it. 'Cause
Yeah, you had.
he ain't gonna
Go ahead,
leave.
sorry.
Let it. So he ain't gonna leave the ring. So just let him work.
I understand that.
But we keeping it real for the boys. Or we keeping it real for the fans, man. So if you know what I mean.
Yes, sir. You had two no shows, didn't you? It was Mike Fatality and
Mi-
um
Mikey Anarchy.
Mike Anarchy, and
Yeah.
you had no, it was three: Mikey Anarchy, uh Mike Fatality, and JJ Escobar. Them three didn't show up.
Yeah, I think well, Fatality and Anarchy supposedly. Well, they said they had COVID. And then JJ was supposed to work Body, and then Body couldn't get over the border. JJ didn't want to come because he didn't get his mind set on working Body. So that's what happened with JJ.
Ah, that's what happened. Okay. So, would you ever book the Body now? With his popularity kind of went downhill after he was on the Boulevard Bullies, and he got in trouble for talking shit on. I don't know if you know the referee, SPO. He
Yeah,
kind of
I heard about it.
Yeah, he kind of got to talking shit. So, would you still book the Body, or kind of just let him die out?
Man, we've talked recently, so I mean I'll just leave it at that.
I respect that. I mean, I'm a fan of deathmatch wrestling, so I'm a fan of you. So whoever you book, I'm pleased with. If that answers your question, I don't really. I'm just a Deep South and a Kevin fan, so whoever you book, I'm pleased with.
Thank you, man.
You're more than welcome. I'm the one that actually got Squirrel onto IWA Deep South. I was watching it one day, and he come up to my old house and was like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "This is fucking Carnage Cup, bro." He was like, "Is it like Tournament of Death?" I was like, "No." I was like, "This is fucking where they bleed. They lose. They get sliced up. Shit
Yeah.
that you'll never see." And we sat down and we watched. What was it? The one that was like 9 hours long. all together, 7, 8, something like that. And he was like, "That's the most brutal show I've ever seen." I was like, "Go to title match," because that was when you was on title match. And I was like, "Here's my login stuff. Go watch every Carnage Cup." He ain't even watched. He's only gotten to like 10.
I'm at 10 now.
Okay.
Go ahead, Squirrel.
What was it like being the first tournament featuring a female barefoot deathmatch?
Man, it was great because we were innovators, man, cutting edge, and we we talked about it, which we had Mickey booked and was trying to figure out something to do, which I know that year Mickey and Ian were having some brutal ass matches, and so me and old Mike Burns told me, I said, well, we need to do something fucking different because they done been having some wars, up Mid South. So we said, fuck, man, let's do the barefoot thumbtack. We said a woman had never been in a barefoot thumbtack before, so there's an intergender. So it's intergender, barefoot thumbtack. Man, fuck, they killed it. I mean, it was one of the most brutal barefoot thumbtack matches hell I probably seen, and I'm very very proud of that match. Even though I don't like Ian, I haven't been friends with Ian for years. We kind of parted ways.
Yeah.
Mickey, I'm probably gonna talk to her. Probably gonna try to get her back. But yeah, man, I'm so proud of that match. That was a hell of a fucking.
You just said Mickey Knuckles. That's my favorite fucking female deathmatch wrestler. And you don't really book females, do you?
I hadn't really booked. I hadn't booked many, man. Uh, Marilyn Monroe's the only one I've had recently. I've had some. I had some a couple of years ago, but I haven't. It's been quite a while. But I was thinking really hard about probably booking Mickey at 14, maybe. I hadn't talked to her yet, but I saw I think it was on Deathmatch Elite somewhere where she had commented about who to contact, and somebody told her, well, it's still me, running it. So I'm thinking really hard about reaching out to her. I'm pretty sure I will see if she wants to do 14.
Sawyer Wreck, I don't know if you're too familiar with her. Uh, Rena Yanamasta. Did I say that right, Squirrel?
Yeah.
There's two. I don't really know how good you are with the Kurtz, Brandon, and Casey. Yeah, I'd take Mickey or Sawyer Wreck or Rena over Casey. I'm sorry, but this ain't no
Was
child's play. This is Carnage Cup.
if Rena? Now who is she? Is she the Japanese? Is she Japanese? Is
She's
she?
she works over there at GCW. She
At
does she
this
still
moment, at this moment, she's GCW Ultra Violent Champion,
Does
and
she?
she's
Does
had
she?
it for almost like 2 years or something.
Does she live here in the States or is she in Japan?
yes sir.
In the.
She does a lot of work over here in America. Like she's on almost every GCW show. So I'm assuming she's over here in America.
Yeah, yeah. I would.
I,
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind booking her probably.
um, because I know she went over there to Japan not too long ago because one of our other partners, Chubby Chipmunk, went to a live show, but he said something about she was coming back to the States. So I'm guessing she lives over here because there's no way that I don't think a series or a tour would last that long. She's been over here for like wrestling for GCW for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
um, Speaking on that, Brian White mentioned to me that he had an idea about doing an IWA Deep South reunion. Would you ever have one?
Uh, yeah. It's possible, man. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'd be down to see some of the oldies get in there from, the older Carnage Cups. Book like
Yeah.
some of the older ones like Tank, Freak Show, and shit to go against some of the younger boys. That'd be good. But,
Yeah.
Kevin's never going to let us down, so.
This may sound like a dumb question. Being promoter, have you ever been a wrestler? Have you always been a promoter?
Mm, I've wrestled, not as myself under hood though.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even know you wrestled.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you didn't
Fuck.
you didn't know?
Fuck. No, I did
Eh,
not. And
I ain't gonna tell you who I am, man. I'm keeping kayfabe alive, man.
I'm gonna have to look at like every site that I can. I'm gonna have to after this. I'm gonna have to fucking find you wrestling. I would love to see you wrestle.
Yeah, I can't say who I am, man. I'm sorry.
Damn it!
I mean, most of the guys know, but if you don't, I say I wouldn't. But I mean, yes, possible. I hope you don't.
I've gotta fucking. I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm gonna have to hit Google after this interview and look for you somehow.
Yeah, I think my screen when you record I turned my hand, my screen went sideways. So I guess I don't know if you can edit that out or not, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryant Woods brought up him versus Bryant White. What kind of match are you wanting to have for it, if we may ask?
Man, I don't know about that one right yet. Uh, I'm not sure about that one. I just had to see. But I think Bryant wants it, but I don't know. I don't know right now. I hadn't got anything in the works for it, but I'll just have to,
I'm sorry, this is funny to me because like we were sitting there and we was doing an interview and he looked over at Brian and he was like, "Hey, don't forget, Kevin's gonna book me versus you." And Brian's eyes got as huge as golf balls and he's like, "Please
yeah.
no."
Yeah, I ain't got any plans for it right now, man. So I'm not gonna say right now.
I understand that. I understand that. You,
Yeah,
you, I mean, yeah, it would be best, yeah, because I'm really close with Brian, and he don't seem too thrilled to be in a ring with Brian. Go ahead, Squirrel.
How do you feel about being one of the promotions to give a lot of household name deathmatch stars of today their big break? Being in like Carnage Cup and stuff.
man, it's great, man. It's part of the legacy. We've give so many names their first shine. I mean, there's been so many big names come through Carnage Cup even before they went to somewhere else. So yeah, uh that's definitely something we're proud of, man. Over the years, we've been a springboard, for stars to get even bigger. So yeah, we definitely pride ourselves on that.
Yeah, Squirrel, you should remember when me and Brian was talking, and he said that Deep South everybody practically worked at Deep South. Danny DeMano, Neil Diamond Cutter, Drake Younger, Thumbtack Jack, Danny Havoc. Um,
Ooh.
the list goes on and on. I mean, Spider Boodrow, John Rare, well, them are usuals. I mean, we've had Corporal Robertson in there. We've had John Wayne Murdoch, Damian Payne, same guy. Um, shit, he's had so fucking many. He worked Murdoch before Murdoch was even big. Back when
Yeah,
Murdoch was Damian Payne.
yeah, he
And
worked. Yeah, before he was ever Murdoch. Matt Tremont wrestled his first deathmatch tournament, Carnage Cup 7. That was his second deathmatch period, and it was his first tournament. he had
Oh,
just
wow.
he had just worked Wax like the week before, and that was the very first death match Tremont had ever fucking worked. And then 1 week later, he debuted at Carnage Cup 7 back in 2011. That was the first tournament he'd ever worked, man. He worked for me before he worked for CZW or anywhere else, Mid South, anywhere, you know. So,
Damn.
shit, who else, man? I mean, we could go on. I can't remember all of them, but I don't know. You could pull
Yeah,
up.
I look it up on Cage Match.
Yeah, you pull them up, man. It's been so damn many, man. It's been
There has.
so damn many over the years, you know.
And the thing about Kevin is he picks out, and he can correct me if he wants to, but he picks out some of the smaller guys, like, somebody that's not really talked about, and he works them, and then they just blow the fuck up like a grenade. And that's the one thing I like about Kevin is, like, he'll take somebody that's not really famous or not really well known, and then he'll bring them to Cup, and then boom, they just fucking all of a sudden famous because of Deep South and what they do. I mean, so um, do you have any plans on running more shows like on a monthly basis or something?
I don't know that I'll ever be on a monthly basis, but I'd like to run more shows, but just for between my schedule, my finances, and my life just won't allow me to run like monthly. But I definitely like to do more. We've got one coming up in a few months. It's not advertised. It'll be released later, but we got one coming up, and then we're gonna have Cup again in October. Um, Probably third weekend in October. There's just a couple of things I gotta work on before I lock in the dates exactly. But it definitely will be in October, most likely third weekend again. But I'll know for sure here pretty soon. I'm working on get it locked down though.
All right. Yeah, because I was wanting to know that, but also when you do more shows, would they be live like Carnage Cup 13 was?
Yeah. Plan to.
Hell yeah.
That would be awesome.
Um, have you ever considered streaming on IWTV?
I have, man, but I mean, I guess because of some of the rumors and accusations made against me, they're not going to stream me, or at least, I mean, I guess if enough people requested it, maybe they would offer to bring me in. But last time I tried to get them to, man, nobody talked to me about it. So I guess not, man. And the plan now is to basically do more on Stream HPW. Is what my plan is now. So we're kind of working on things with Rob and trying to get stuff out on there. And so that's pretty much what the plan is right now, anyway.
All right, I understand that. Rob's a good promoter himself. I like XPW. I like what he gets in there, and I like what he has to offer. And I like a lot of promoters. There's some that I don't really fuck with, but I like what
Yeah.
Rob does with his promotion, and I like what he has to offer and all that good shit. Go ahead, Squirrel.
Um, what advice would you give to somebody trying to run their own wrestling company?
Mm, Let me see. You got, man. I mean, you need a lot of money. You need to have, if you're not knowledgeable enough yourself about shows and how they run, you need a good partner to help you. And, you need somebody that can give you advice. And, you definitely need a lot of help, to get it off the ground. But pretty much, man, if you want to run bad enough, you'll find somebody with a ring. The biggest thing is getting the money and getting you a good core group of guys around you that are real dedicated like you are, that can help you out. And once you do that and you find your ring, then you start looking for a place to go and run. I mean, it's fairly easy. Biggest thing is just the money and having the proper help and enough dedicated people around you that can help you go with it. I mean that's the biggest thing.
Understandable. I understand that. Have you ever been cut up or anything, considering that you're like right up on top of, all the action?
Oh yeah, I have.
What's your worst cut that you've received?
Gus that played bat shot by John Rare.
God bless him. Damn.
Ooh.
That's one of the things I don't fuck with. I do not like gusset plates.
Yeah, Gus that played in the shoulder. Yeah,
Ooh.
I still got a scar from it. I got a scar from when he hit me. It had
Ooh.
big plastic bats, when they was gusset plates. I think they had I think it was zip ties holding them on because they wasn't moving. They were on there, and he just blasted me, man, in the arm, full on during the match. I worked John. I worked John several times, man. He was one of my favorite people to work, man, because John actually he'll take care of you, man, especially if he likes you. And if he don't like you, he'll fuck you up. But if if he like if he likes you, he'll work with you. But just don't make him mad or don't give him a reason not to like you, though.
John's been with you since what? Carnage Cup 7? No.
Yeah, 7. But he actually started working for me a year before in 2010. He worked for me on a normal show. So he worked the first show John worked there was like in August of 2010. Was actually the first time. So she had been with me a long time, man. Long ass time.
Yeah. almost 14 years. Hell yeah.
Yeah, almost 14 years.
Oh, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment in the business so far?
Mm. Biggest accomplishment. I mean, probably just our, you know, probably worldwide uh, notoriety. I guess notoriety and probably having some shows on Tubi. That's pretty big. And then, I mean, making stars, man. And then, I mean, reputation. Pretty much reputation. Because I've had people all over the world that's contacted me, telling me they heard about us. So I mean, just knowing that when people think about the most violent tournament, they think about Carnage Cup and IWA Deep South. So just having that fucking name, man, having notoriety, man, having that controversy behind you. We've done a pretty damn good job considering there's a
Yeah.
lot of shows, a lot of promotions that run a lot more shows than us, but yet we've ended up, making a bigger impact than most of them shows that's run a lot more.
One sec.
So I feel real good about that, man.
I understand that. Yeah, y'all do run some good shows, bro.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate it.
I've seen a lot of wrestling shows that run like monthly, but man, some of them don't even look like they just threw them together the day of the show, bro. They just threw people in it.
Yeah,
Sorry
I'm
about that,
like,
y'all.
dang. I mean, Bruce.
My little one woke up.
Oh,
yeah. How
Yeah,
many you got, Moose?
I got 2. I got a little boy and I got a little girl. I'm wanting to go to Cup this year, but my daughter, she's a newborn and she's a humongous daddy. Well, actually, she's 3 months old, and she's a humongous daddy's girl. And I'm like, I don't know if I could take my kids to Cup. And I made a post a while back, and I think you answered as long as they are accomplished by an adult. I'm like, I could take my daughter since she ain't gonna do much, but my son, he loves wrestling, and I'm scared that he's gonna get in the ring or get in the way of something. He's gonna go belly bomb. I'm like, we don't need you getting in the middle of these professional wrestlers.
No.
Yeah, I'm probably I'm wanting to come to Cup, so if I come, I'm probably gonna just be man squirrel and leave the little ones at home.
Yeah.
My because if I bring my wife, she's gonna have to watch both little ones. So I'm like, I can watch my daughter, but my son, he's more of a mommy's boy, so he always, or a granny's boy, he does not really listen to me. And I'm like, yeah, we ain't having this shit. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like he'll watch wrestling. Like I was watching Carnage Cup 13, and he goes belly bomb, and now every time he watches wrestling or I'm laying on the bed, it's time to wrestle. I'm like, no, you do not need to. Speaking about that, my son was 3 years old, about 2.5, 3. He picks up a pin and stabs Squirrel in the head like Atticus Cogar or Masada would. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? He said, no. And I'm like, oh shit. My son, we're thinking that he has autism. So he sees wrestling like the ref Dan Wilson, he will squall when the ref screams. And like he's all into wrestling. Like he likes John Rare, he likes Bryant. When John stabbed Bryant in the head with them scares, he goes, "Daddy, is he okay? Is he okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, he'll be okay, but right now he's in a massive lot of pain."
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man.
How do you feel about Brian White winning the Spider got me? I have to ask you that.
Brian's good, man. He's a good dude, man. He's loyal and he's got a good heart and for the business, and I felt like he deserved it, and so yeah, man, he's good. I mean, I know he'll be around a long time.
I'd like to see him win a cup. He's like, I don't know if I'll ever win a cup. I'm like, come on. He's like, but that's 3 rounds I got to go through. And I'm like, come on. Come on, at least make it to the third round.
I noticed in your documentary that in the 10 years of Carnage, it showed you setting up the ring and stuff. Do you enjoy helping set up the ring and the contraption?
Yeah, not as much as I did when I was a little bit younger, man. It's I'm kind of slow. I'm slowing down some now. Hell, I'll be 46 my birthday, which ain't. I mean, that ain't old, but I mean, I've been doing this shit. I've been doing this shit since I was in my early 20s, man. So yeah, it's kind of it's catching up with me, man. It's a lot of work, So I used to, man. I mean, I used to like fucking hell. I set up everything, man, but not no more. I got a crew now, so
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I don't do as much. I don't do as much as I used to.
Yeah,
That's
she woke up.
understandable.
My little one woke up and I had to take her out to her mama. Oh, what was it? If you could, if you could have Deep South versus any promotion, who would it be and why?
Definitely be XPW, man, because I mean, because with number one, I mean, Rob was the only one that really give me a shot, when these other promotions wouldn't work with me, and we pretty much fit, and then we've already had a few of our guys go to XPW, and then talk to Rob about possibly doing something. So yeah, it's definitely XPW. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have something, in the near future together. We'll just have to
Yeah.
see. We just have to
I mean,
see. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure something will probably happen.
we've done had Chili Martinez and Obey over there in XPW. Obey's been over there twice.
Yeah,
And Chewy's been over there, what, once that I know of?
yeah. Chew's been once, and then I heard that I don't know. They may bring up Little Sicko and maybe Jay Blade. I don't and Bryant Woods.
Oh,
I don't
Ooh.
know. I hadn't talked to Rob, so I can't say for sure. I just somebody told me they was thinking about it, so I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Little Sicko, the fucking ringmaster. Oh, fuck yeah.
Sicko, man, yeah, Little Sicko's the best as far as the new generation, young guy coming up. He's definitely he's the go-to guy. I mean he's definitely the best of the young generation coming up. That has the most promise, and I mean just he fits deep style, man. He just uh he fits us, man, perfectly. I mean he's just insane, got a lot of heart, young, crazy, reckless, balls to the wall, and just a good kid too. Man. He's a real good kid, and I hope he's with me a long, long time, man.
I mean, fuck that. Him and 12 was good, but fuck, when Bryant Woods drove me off in 13, man. I honestly thought Bryant Woods killed Sicko when, like, little Sicko was laying there, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh, fuck.
he
Uh,
stepped he stepped it up. He stepped it up to another notch at 13, but shit, 14 is gonna be even better, man. I think
I honestly
14 is better, man.
I
I'm
believe
not
it.
gonna lie to you. I honestly thought that Little Sicko was gonna win fucking 13 during the beginning of the third round. I was like, Little Sicko's gonna win this, and then Brat Woods, Little Sicko done whatever, passed out, or he stopped or whatever he was doing, and Brat Woods, told him, you ain't. I ain't fucking done. You're not done. And I'm like, oh no, Bryant Woods has got this match. He's going to make Little Sicko quit.
Yeah, it was good, fucking good finals. Hell of a final.
So,
Told a good story. Told a good story, and it
yeah,
built them up, man. It's great.
we actually got the story behind that with Bryant Woods. He looks at Little Sicko as a nephew since, he raised him, kind of helped raise him, and then he wanted to fight Bryant Woods. And I was like, hey, that's a hell of a fucking story. I'm glad it happened, but it was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like like Brian and Spider were
What?
brothers, and they were tag team partners, and then uh, Little Sicko's dad used to wrestle for me years ago, back when Little Sicko was just a little bitty boy, and his dad had an untimely demise, and then Spider had an untimely demise. So, um, having Bryant and Little Sicko together, was perfect because you got
Sicko
that.
Senior.
Yeah, well, you got that legacy because Little Sicko's carrying his legacy on, and Bryant's carrying on Spider's legacy because they were tag team partners and like brothers. So I mean, it was perfect, man. Story and just honor, memory, and then that's why Bryant did the Spider driver off the U-Haul with Sicko. That was honoring Spider's memory, and I know at the end, when I give him the belt and the trophy, he looked up, at the sky, and I know he's talking to Bruce, and then I said, I looked at him, we both, it's kind of emotional time, and I said, Bruce is proud of you, Bruce, that's Spider, real name, Bruce. I said, he's proud of you, man. He's looking down on you, and he's proud of you, honoring his memory, and man, it just was surreal, it was just a great moment, man. There's been so many great moments over the years, and it's just awesome, man. I mean, it's more like a Deep South, more like a family. It's more like a family. And then when we do Cup, man, it's like going to a family reunion, and
I,
it's just it's a whole different experience. I mean, it's not just like going to a wrestling show. It's more than that with Cup, compared to other shows and other tournaments. At least that's the way it is for us.
um, you know, when you have fucking, I miss. There's no words to describe Spider. I'm a big Spider Boudreau fan. Squirrel will tell you I fucking love Spider, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was still with us. That big crazy monster. He he's done some unspeakable shit that I don't think another man would do.
yeah.
And if you know, Bryant said that I'm not for sure if it was recorded or not, but he was telling us about little Sicko Senior and him going at it, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that. Was any of their matches ever recorded to be streamed?
Let me see. I think he was involved in some matches in, I think the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers. Is that kind of that little offshoot show we done when the commission came down on us. We started doing comedy for a while because we couldn't do death matches at all in Alabama no more, and at the time I wasn't gonna go out of state unless it was cut, and so we just started doing fucking comedy, and they worked. I think they were in an 8-man tag together, and then I think they were in a rumble together. But I don't think they ever had a single. Not for me. They may have on another show, but not for me though.
I was about to say because I've never I don't think I've ever seen Sicko Senior. I'll have to go back and watch some of the older shows because I don't think I've ever seen Sicko Senior. I've seen
Yeah,
Sadisco, which I'm probably saying his name wrong. I've seen Little Sicko. I've seen all of them, but I don't think I've ever seen Sicko Senior.
yeah, yeah. He
Go ahead,
worked.
Squirt.
He worked for me. I don't remember. I
Oh.
don't remember when the first show was he worked, but he worked a few years for me though. Sicko Senior did. He worked a few years for me.
Besides Carnage Cup, what other deathmatch tournament would you say you yourself watched?
Mm, I mean, most recently, the only one I watched was California. I really hadn't watched none of the other ones. I watched California's about it, man, because I hadn't seen none of the other ones lately. Just to be honest.
Okay.
2023 had some decent tournaments. I mean, TOD wasn't my favorite this year. Cup was the best. We had like King of the Kill from RPW. We had TOS. It was good, but not like I'm used to. We had NGI, but not like I'm used to. I mean, Cup was honestly the best this year, which Cup's always the best for me. So, and we had a Battle of the Tough Guys.
Did
So,
pretty much. I think the GCW tournaments, in my opinion, has dropped way off. I mean, they do like normal shows. Everybody brags on how good the regular shows are, but their deathmatch tournaments aren't really anything to write home about, honestly.
And GCW was
No more.
actually founded on death matches.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, and then you got the fans in there that say, excuse me, you got your fans in there that'll say they still do death matches, or oh well, GCW don't do death matches anymore. Excuse me, trying to be a smartass, and we're like, that's not what we're saying. GCW does do death matches. It's just not like it used to be death matches. It's fucking, you know, 2 hours of technical wrestling and maybe 30 minutes to an hour of death matches. Like, but would you speak on Southern Outlaws?
I for certain reasons, man, I ain't gonna be able to speak on it, honestly.
I
Uh,
respect that.
it's not. I do it, man, because I love y'all, but I can't. There's reasons behind it. I can't speak on
Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble. Yeah, I understand that.
it. Yeah,
Understand?
So, could we get the Angel of Death, John Rare, in Carnage Cup 14?
man, I wish, but I really think John's gone this time. I think he's retired, but I
Uh,
I wished I could, but man, I don't think he's gonna do another one.
I love, because, like, I'm not gonna lie, 13 was good, but I don't think I should. I think we should get a better send off for John. Like, it was good, but you
Yeah,
know, I have a feeling that John got cheated after he messed up his arm. Like,
yeah,
Brian's wanting to give him a better send off since that's his idol or whatever, role model or whatever. And I'm like, well, I'll bring it up to Kevin, considering because I was like, yeah, he kind of, John Rare deserves, a better send off. But I'm like, he's retired. And Brian's like, well, deathmatch wrestlers never really retire. And I'm like, I don't know.
yeah.
John seems like he's done.
If he would, man, I'd book him. But it's up to John, man. It's up to John.
I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Squirrel.
Um, how do you feel about some of the extreme bumps that they take in Carnage Cup, like off the trailers and stuff? How do you feel about that?
I love him, man.
He's fucking brutal. He's brutal as I am. He fucking loves that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be down to speak on anything about Carnage Cup 14?
The only thing I know the weekend. I know it'll be 2 days. The tournament's probably gonna be both days now, and we're gonna have a Violent Shit Cup number 2, TWO Violent Shit Cup number 2, which is gonna be more like a character comedy mixed with deathmatch type tournament. It's just gonna be 8 people. Like what I think we're gonna do the first round like Saturday afternoon at 2, and then like at 8 that night we're gonna do that just a little short Violent Shit Cup, and then the tournament will resume on Sunday afternoon at 2. And that as of right now, that's what the schedule is and what we're planning on. And like I said, I know it'll be back at the same location, be in McKenzie, Tennessee again, like 13 was. Tentatively, probably third weekend in October, but as soon as I know for sure, I'll post something about it.
My main question on that was, I really wanted to know what kind of ring style you was going to do, if you was going to do another six-sided ring or the regular four-sided ring.
I'm not sure. That's one of the biggest things I'm trying to figure out is on the ring right now. So I'm not 100% sure which one.
some people didn't like. I don't know if you kept up with it, but some people didn't like the 6 set ring. It really didn't bother me. It reminded me back of the old TNA days. I mean, I was satisfied with it, but because I feel like the boys get more leverage in the 6 set ring. But like I said, you can't really complain. I mean, you've been doing it since you said 2002, so you know exactly what you're doing. And, you're going to have your haters, which is going to give you publicity. I mean, I'll tell you, anybody straight up, Kevin knows what he's doing. He hasn't been around for almost 25 years, which my math is off on that more than likely. But he ain't been around for almost 25 years not knowing what the fuck he's doing. I mean, somebody likes him if he's getting all these bookings and making all these shows. I mean, come on. And I admit, I'm probably one of Kevin's biggest fans.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm really, really, really looking into going to 14 and meeting you and the boys.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on and have a good time.
Go ahead, Squirrel.
I know the guys on the Spooky Does podcast. I know they coming out. They coming out from Michigan, so I think they coming down. So they'll be down. Y'all come on, man.
Yeah, we'll be coming out from Kentucky. Me and Squirrel, we was wanting to go to 13, and then I was like, well, we couldn't make it to 13. I said, well, I'm gonna try my goddamn damnedest to go to 14. You're only like 4 hours away, 4.5, 5 hours at the most away. So I'm like, dude, we can really fucking use this for the channel, our personal entertainment. It will be the first live deathmatch show we go to. I'm like, let's fucking kick it off. We just gotta save the money and get the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fuck, you got any more questions, Squirrel?
I got like one more. Did you ever think Carnage Cup would be as big as it is now when you started it back in 2005?
No, I didn't. Didn't have no idea, boy. No idea.
Oh, true.
Let me say this first. Would you like to say anything else or speak on anything?
Not nothing I can think of, man. We hit a lot of subjects, so yeah, I think I'm pretty much done, man. But
All right.
I appreciate y'all having me on.
Anytime, Mr. Kevin. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it.
This is your boy Skinny Moose, and I'm out.
Your boy Fast Squirrel, and I'm out.
Mr. Kevin's out.